Hello. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Hope everyone's doing amazing today. It's a beautiful day here in Tulum, Mexico, in the jungle. And I am so incredibly excited about this IG Live. I am so excited about the two very special guests that we are hosting today. I cannot wait for you guys to meet them. So I'm going to get them added right now. We have Kassiah and John joining us. Yay!
Hello.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Happy Wellness Wednesday. It's the theme today.
Yes, Happy Wellness Wednesday. So happy to be here with you, and John will be joining us shortly.
I'm so incredibly grateful to have you guys here with me. For those of you tuning in, Kassiah and John are some of my dear friends, and I'm just so grateful to be surrounded by such incredible human beings with so much experience in the health and wellness world. And so I'm going to wait for John to pop on before I formally introduce you guys. But for those of you that are just tuning in, if you have any questions coming up during this live, feel free to drop them in the chat. Today we are going to be discussing the mind mind-body connection and how our mind is connected to our body, how our body is connected to our mind, our gut health, everything, mind, body, soul. And so and then John will be leading us through an embodiment practice. And I think my Wi-Fi just went out, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. Please forgive me. Hi, John.
Hello.
I'm
Hi.
back.
Welcome back.
I believe my Wi-Fi cut out because I froze, and I was like, uh-oh, what happened? And then I noticed my Wi-Fi went out. So the beauties of living in the jungle in Tulum.
Yes.
So welcome, John.
To the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. I am just so grateful and so incredibly honored for you guys taking the time to join me today, and so excited to promote your Wellness Wednesdays and this beautiful thing that this beautiful gift that you're giving to the world. And every Wednesday, you guys are going live as well and talking about health and wellness. And so just so grateful for the gifts that you both are giving to the world in so many ways, and just so excited to jump in and talk about this stuff today. So again, for those of you just tuning in, we're talking about the mind-body connection today. And I'll just give you guys a brief introduction, and then I'm going to ask you a little bit more about yourselves. So Kassiah has experience in the Western medical world. She's a registered nurse and, has worked so many hours in hospitals, and I'm sure she could tell us so many different stories. And now she's taking a more holistic approach to help her clients really heal from the inside out. And I just really relate with that. That's what I'm so passionate about, helping my clients as well, with natural, holistic medicine and functional medicine. And so I'm just so grateful to have you here and to get to learn from you and collaborate with you. And John is incredible. A lot of you guys have probably seen John on my stories quite a bit. We host Ecstatic Dance together here in Tulum. And John, has so much experience as well, coming from years of teaching yoga and leading conscious events and gatherings and helping people grow with their spirituality. And I'm gonna pop it off to you guys and let you introduce yourselves. And Kassiah, I'll start with you. So I'd love to just ask you, like, give everyone the intro and kind of talk about some of your experience, how you gained your experience, and where you're at today.
Yeah, thanks so much. I love you, Erin. Yeah, I'm Kassiah, and I've been working in the field of healthcare for over 20 years, registered nurse, military, flight nurse, hospital. I became a family nurse practitioner. Worked in addiction medicine, and I between people who had like health disorders and how much it affected their physical health. So they had, so I went back, got my psychic mental health nurse practitioner, and now I want to get into a holistic kind of view, spirituality, energetic, and all of that as well. I do holistic health coaching, lifestyle for your. Super happy to be here, and both live in Tulum, and it's just the perfect match of both. So grateful for this. Thank you, Erin. And then what about you?
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Your audio is clipping out a little bit. So,
No.
my name is John. So if you don't know who I am, I actually got introduced to holistic health when I was 8 years old. My dad had a kidney transplant, and we went through different medicine doctors, and finally there was this one Chinese medicine doctor that taught me how to do Reiki as an 8-year-old for my dad. So I was doing Reiki at the age of 8 to help my dad heal with his kidney transplant. And then later on in life, when I graduated college, I got into the medical field, and I was working in the sleep world. So I worked in the sleep field, working in sleep medicine, and I helped educate doctors and nurses on CPAP machines, like breathing. So it all comes around full circle, how now I teach people how to breathe without a machine. They can breathe with their own lungs, and how to regulate their nervous system just by how to breathe properly and with intention. And then my favorite medicine that I'm working with now is movement medicine. And that's anywhere from dancing to something we'll learn a little bit about today, which is EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping, and just different somatic practices that I incorporate, whether it's in my yoga class or an ecstatic dance. I like to just take it an extra step, go a little deeper, and put a little medicine into the gatherings that we do, so that we can have kind of like a mass group session of just regulating our nervous systems. And in the holistic healing world, we say that a lot, and regulating the nervous system. But a few years ago, I had no idea what that was even about. And now I realize how important it is just to have our nervous system in a parasympathetic state, so that we're actually healing and we're rejuvenating ourselves and our bodies just by breathing and sitting, and the way we talk, the way we eat, how things can, just the nervous system can do so many things in the background to help support our health. So that's my favorite style of medicine these days.
Thank you both so much for sharing. And yes, John, you definitely bring so much magic to any sort of practice or movement or class that you're teaching. And I'm just so grateful for the medicine that you bring. And I'm so grateful, Kassiah, for all of the work that you're doing. Just so grateful for both of you. And thank you for sharing your story, John. I didn't know that about you when you learned Reiki when you were 8. That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that story. Thank you for sharing.
It was so weird because I had no idea. They didn't tell me what it was called, or maybe they did say what it was, but I just knew that I had to do certain things and different pressure points, meridians. This was before I had the vocabulary of Reiki, meridians, energy work. I was just doing what my parents were telling me that I was learning. And then later on in life, after going through yoga and learning from Reiki practitioners, it's like, oh, that's that thing I was doing when I was a kid. So I love that it all comes in full circle. Like, you can't escape it. It's always there.
Such a beautiful modality. And Yeah, I'm just so excited and grateful for those of you just joining us. John and Kassiah will also be joining us at the virtual retreat coming up on May 12th and 13th. So please come join us. They will be speaking and presenting and leading experiences for us amongst 16 amazing speakers and facilitators. It's 2 full days. The last one was incredible. So please come join us. Tickets are only $22. We're doing that intentionally to just share this gift with as many people as we can and really just spread all of this medicine to the world and help heal humanity and raise the frequency of our planet. And so thank you guys. I'm so excited to get to experience more of you at the virtual retreat. And with that said, I'd love to just jump into our topic today of the mind-body connection. And so I'd love to ask you guys, what is the mind-body connection?
Yeah, so I like the mind-body connection is just the understanding that our mental health, our mindset, our beliefs has an effect on our physiology and our body, just as much as what we do to our body affects our mindset, our mental health, and everything. So historically, like ancient tradition, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, they always understood this two-way street of the mind-body connection. And in kind of Western conventional medicine, we started separating mental health from physical health and dissecting. However, it's beautiful to see now that the research and science really backs up this understanding that it's a two-way directional street, and even different prestigious medical schools are like on board and teaching this. Like Harvard has an annual mind-body medicine conference, and Stanford, they have a mind-body lab. So it's really, and this is something that's always been in our language, right? So when you think of, when people say, this is something I'm dealing with right now, I have a pain in my neck. And when people are like, oh, that's a pain in my neck, that's emotion stored in a certain area of your body. Or heartbreak, you know, our heart has a very big electromagnetic field, and this area holds a lot of sorrow, grief, sadness. So big heartbreak, there's actually a syndrome called heartbreak syndrome, or stress cardiomyopathy, that changes and alters the heart's ability to pump and can even die from it. So these things really do occur and are related, and I'm so happy to bring this awareness to the world and how important it is to do these different techniques that take care of our nervous system, which kind of is the main highway that these two systems talk. It's a two-way street, I like to call it. So yeah, there's actually more fibers in our nervous system in the vagus nerve going from your body, from your gut, from your heart to your brain, than there is information from your brain going to your body. And John, always feel free to jump in at any time, but I was going to give some examples about this two-way street, maybe give some people some context. So like, for instance, for every thought, feeling, emotion, belief we have, there's a physiologic occurrence happening in the body through neurotransmitters, through hormones and things. So you go to the doctor, you may be feeling anxious and your blood pressure is going to be higher. And we used to over-treat blood pressure because they had really high blood pressure when they came in, but it's actually a phenomenon called white coat syndrome. So we understand that the mental stress actually changes the physiology in their body. Or there's the power of the placebo, which Dr. Elias Crum, she studies this at the Mind Body Lab in Stanford, amazing work. And it's the power of our mindsets and our belief systems to alter our physiology. Like it's been studied to show different hunger hormones based on your belief, if this is a high calorie shake or a low calorie shake. Or she took this group of people who were getting the same amount of exercise but didn't realize it. So like cleaners or people who are cleaning homes, they didn't know they were getting enough exercise, and they just kept one control group and didn't tell them anything, and then the other group, they educated them, like, you're actually getting the recommended amount of physical activity and these are the benefits. And then they looked later and they saw the people they educated and just changed their belief system about how much they were already getting enough exercise. They had like lower blood pressure, and a bunch of different other biomarkers of inflammation in their body had improved. So that's just your mindset and your mental health and its effect on the body. And we'll go more into this on why it's important, especially with stress. But on the flip side, what we do to the body affects our mindset. So if we're not getting enough sun or for the vitamin D or through our foods, like we're going to have low mood. If we have a stagnant body, we're not moving it, we're going to also deal with depression and low moods. Or if you have trauma or toxins that happen to the brain, this is a physical occurrence that we do to ourselves. It affects our mindset and our mental health. So it's always a two-way street. And it's even interesting. There's been a lot of studies lately about fecal transplants, which can kind of sound crazy, but we have a microbiome in our body, which this is something I'm going to go over in depth at the retreat. So would love for y'all to come and hear more about that, because it's amazing and there's so much we can do to help our mental and physical health. But they do fecal transplants from one person's microbiome to another, and they'll have different moods, thoughts, personalities even, and it's just incredible. And so the main way that the mind-body interface, or I call it the main highway, is the nervous system. It's really the vagus nerve is this main highway. And so how we can tell the health of the vagus nerve is through our vagal tone, and like an indirect measurement is heart rate variability. But the higher which is kind of like when you breathe, when inhale and exhale, you should have a little bit of variability in your heart rate. And the more variability you have, the healthier your vagus nerve is. And so higher vagal tone allows us to take on challenges and stress and be able to recover quickly from that stress while staying present. And low vagal tone has been associated with all sorts of conditions, from obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, depression, irritable bowel syndrome, just so many different things. And so we really want to increase our resilience to stress and this window of tolerance to stress by increasing our vagal tone. So some things that we can do to increase this window of tolerance, I'm sure many people know about like ice baths, and that is a great way to increase this window of tolerance. But if you don't have access to an ice bath or have money for it, you can just take a bowl of cold water and put some ice in it and submerge your face for a few minutes, and it has the same effect for your nervous system. Probiotics actually increase your vagal tone in studies because of that brain-gut connection. Anything that activates your vocal cords, so singing, humming, chanting, gargling, this is going to activate and tone your vagus nerve. It's something you can do every day. Laughter is another great one. Social support. You can actually, one of the greatest ways to regulate your nervous system is like co-regulating with a loved one, with family, with friends. And this is why I think community is so important and associated with longevity and health. So, yeah. So yeah, I really wanted to talk about like, why is this important to understand the mind-body connection? And it's really because we're kind of facing a public health crisis where stress right now in our world is the number one, stress-related disorders are the number one burden on our healthcare system. 80% of all primary care visits are stress-related disorders. And so it's not the same kind of stress. I'm sure you've heard the analogy of like a lion chasing you and you're in that sympathetic dominant state trying to run away, and we get epinephrine and all these floods of hormones and things. But it's more of like the emails, the conflict with your partner, friends, the deadlines. And we're in this kind of like, I call it a hustle culture, this go, go, go. And we're constantly in this sympathetic fight, flight, freeze, fawn kind of state in our nervous system. And we aren't going enough into the parasympathetic that John was talking about, where you rest, digest, can restore. That's when your body comes back into homeostasis, sends out healing hormones and things. And so this is kind of key to our health. And I love my friend Mel, who kind of did this analogy, and I think it's beautiful. She said that we should think about nervous system like self-care, but I'm calling it nervous system regulation, like the way that we think about dental hygiene. So there was like once a time in history, right, where there was a public health crisis and everyone was like having cavities and teeth falling out and whatever. And so they started implementing daily dental hygiene practices where you brush your teeth twice a day and floss and just take this little time to take care of that. And we need, because of the stress issue that's going on in our world, we need to implement nervous system regulation and care practices every single day to kind of help combat all the stress-related illness that's burdening the healthcare system. And so we can live a better quality of life too. So Herbert Benson, he's a doctor and he works with Harvard, and he kind of pioneered all the science behind this, and he talks about this relaxation response. And he says that, like, through his studies and through his work, just doing like 10 minutes a day, once or twice a day, of a relaxation technique, a mind-body technique that interrupts your thinking mind as well, has been proven to cause epigenetic changes, or like changes in your genes themselves that can also be passed down to future generations. And these gene changes are scientifically proven to alter your energy metabolism, insulin secretion, your inflammatory pathways, which are like huge for all sorts of chronic diseases. So this is something that we want to just kind of remind you, encourage you. It doesn't have to be this long hour-and-a-half yoga practice every day. It can literally be just 10 minutes once or twice a day that can have huge effects on your resilience to stress and being able to bounce back and downregulate these inflammatory pathways and these metabolic changes that we're seeing in the population at large as well. So, yeah, I'll just give some examples. If anyone has any questions, type them below. I'd love to answer. But there's so many mind-body modalities. It's really, I like to think of it as all the fun stuff, from everything from any relaxation technique, like sound baths, aromatherapy works through the mind-body, breath work, like John was talking about. Breath is such a huge and profound way that you can change your mindset. When we think about breath, if you're breathing shallow and fast and rapid, you're going to probably have an anxious, nervous mind. Whereas if you actually intentionally slow your breath down, take longer, deeper breaths, it calms your mind. It brings you more to the present. This is a kind of a direct correlation. You can even kind of check in with your breath and your mind and see where it's at. And you can alter your mindset by choosing to be conscious of your breath and take conscious, breaths. Slow, deep breathing. So, but yeah, some other modalities, there's so many. Tai Chi, there's yoga, there's meditation, visual imagery, acupuncture, literally Qigong, anything you can think of. And I just want to, last kind of thing that I wanted to talk about is there's kind of two different approaches we call top down and bottom up. So top down is really working with our mental processing. This is like traditional talk therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy. And so working to reframe our perspectives and change our mind, or like that is then going to have an effect on your body. Whereas the bottom up is really working with the sensing body and using your body to change your mind. And it's important, especially if you've had any kind of trauma that you want to work with, to use bottom up therapies as well, because often top down, talking about it, your prefrontal cortex is kind of offline when you have had traumatic experiences and you're trying to heal those. So you really need to do body work, involve the nervous system to kind of heal those experiences. So things like yoga is a combined approach where we're using the sanas, the body, the practices to change the mind. But there's also this, you're cultivating mindful attention and awareness and learning self-regulation where you're, changing perspective. So it's that's top down. So it's kind of both. And I think John today is going to show us EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is another combined approach where you're tapping on different meridians in the body. So that's the bottom up. But if you individualize EFT to maybe what you're working on and things that you want to reframe, then that's where the top down part is coming in, and it's kind of a combined thing. So yeah, feel free, any questions. And my biggest thing is I just want to inspire you to take charge of your health, to build your window of tolerance to stress by doing daily nervous system care practices that down-regulate your nervous system into that rest and relaxation response. So thank you, Erin. John, do you want to kind of go into EFT and your practice?
Um, yeah, I was just going to share that with EFT, there are little things that you can say. And my Qigong teacher, he taught me, every time we did Qigong, he would say it's important to use some part of our throat during the Qigong practice because the throat is our superhighway from body to mind. And today's mind-body connection, the throat chakra, it actually serves as a highway to connect the two. And with EFT, when we tap on certain things, we can just tap and that'll do the work. But when we also say a statement or a mantra along with the tapping, it actually re-engineers and resets the mind and the body. So we can start now. You guys ready to tap? Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. So anyone at home, if you'd like, and you guys as well, just drop in and think of something that gives you a stress level of like a 9 or 10 on a scale of 0 to 10. Okay, so just think about something like, ooh, maybe it could be anything like my life purpose or you know, where do I want to live, or I don't love my job. Something that's just giving you stress on a scale of 0 to 10 that gives you like a really high 9 or 10 scale. Okay. And then we'll just give it that score. We'll just say my stress around my career gives me a 9.5 or something. So give it that grade now, and then we'll start with some tapping. And before we go through the, you can open your eyes. Before we go through the full-on tapping, we're just going to take our peace sign fingers. Okay, everyone got your peace sign fingers? We're going to tap around the eyebrows first. I'm just going to introduce you to the meridian points first, okay? And then because I'm going to go kind of fast. So eyebrows here. And then side of the eye is over here, side of the eye. So it's like right where the eyelids meet and bone. Okay, so then under the eye is that bone that's right under the eye, under eye. Then under the nose. So everyone at home, you guys can do this too. It's not just us three that are tapping. It's going to be a group effort. And if you're watching the replay, you can do it with us because you'll feel super duper better. Okay, okay. So under the mouth right here. And then collarbone, so right under the collarbone. DMT Force, you joined, awesome. These guys, just sharing that these DMT Force guys are in Houston, and they're using all these body mind hacks, and they're doing so many events in Houston, so follow them if you're in Houston. Okay, so we do the collarbone and then top of the head. Okay, so everyone got introduced to where we're going to be tapping today. Amazing. Okay, so first, we're going to start off with the eyebrows, and then you're going to repeat after me out loud, okay? So if you're at home or if you're at the office, you can whisper it, but definitely use your vocal cords. Make some kind of sound like you're going to repeat after me, okay? This block. Say it. This block.
This block.
This block.
Okay. And then side eye. This challenge.
This challenge.
This challenge.
And then under the eye. In front of my dreams.
In front of my dreams.
And then under the nose. What if I could let it go?
What if I could let it go?
Under the mouth. What if I could finally let it go?
What if I could finally let it go?
And then collarbone. What if I could make my dream come true?
What if I can make my dream come true?
And the top of the head. Of all the things, I could just let it go.
Of all the things, I could just let it go.
Okay. Now eyebrows again. It's time to let them go.
It's time to let them go.
And I acknowledge them.
And I acknowledge that.
And I thank them.
And I thank them.
But I've had enough.
But I've had enough.
And I'm ready to let them go.
And I'm ready to let them go.
Collarbone. And I'm ready to make my dreams come
And
true.
I'm ready to make my dreams come true.
Now, under the arms to release all this old stress. Say it. To release all this old stress.
To release all this old stress.
Top of the head. To let go of all this old trauma.
To let go of all this old trauma.
Eyebrows. It's an old story.
It's an old story.
Side of the eye. And that it's been holding me back.
It's no longer holding me back.
And under the eye, it's time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
What's going?
This old story,
This old
This
story.
old story.
this old story,
This old
This
story.
old story.
I'm letting it go.
I'm
It's
letting it go.
Under the arm, I'm letting it all go.
I'm letting it all
Letting it
go.
all go.
It's all
Top of the head,
gone.
right up on top of the head, right now, letting it go right now.
Right now, it's all
Right now,
done.
it's all gone.
And then just brush everything off your arms, brush it off your head. I'm letting it all go right now.
Letting it all go right now. It's all gone.
Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath in. Exhale, letting everything go. And now, just with your eyes closed, just think back of the stress that you originally started this tapping sequence with. And then give it a scale, on a scale of 0 to 10. See where it is. If it's still a 9 or 10, or is it maybe gone down to like 5? Aaron, what does it feel like to you, this stress?
It was a 9 before, and now it feels like a 3.
Ooh, Kassiah.
Wow, that was a big drop. So, well, not as big for me, but yeah, it was like a 9, and now it's like a 5 or 6.
I had a 9, and it's down to like a 2. So the thing with EFT and tapping is, it's always advisable to do round 1, and then check in with yourself, and then just look at your score after you've done 1 round of this. And then if it's still not 0, the goal is to get it down to homeostasis 0. So I would advise my clients to do it 1 more round. And sometimes I sit with clients and I'll do it with them another round until we get down to 0. So some clients I've had, we go down to like 3 sequences, boom, 3 rounds, and then it's like, wow, I'm finally down to 0. So that's where we want to be. And I love EFT because a lot of times we have clients, or we have friends or family members that they'll say, I wish I could just relax and meditate, but I have so much stress like on my mind. Like, I don't know how you guys do it and meditate. And I'm like, there's a shortcut. You're not expected to just jump into a meditative state right away or just feel relaxed, especially if you have a 9 level stress or 10, or if it's some kind of stress that you really can't even pinpoint, like it's a hidden trauma. And the best way, it's like a shortcut, is just to tap it out, to get to the meridians physically and verbally and mentally with the little statements, the mantras, and it'll kind of reverse engineer, go back, and get you back to that homeostasis place. So thank you guys for tapping with me. And if anyone at home jumped in on this tapping and you guys are curious on what we did or even like what we just said, I can just send you, I don't know if it'll fit in a Instagram message, but just message me and I'll send you, or just put a little comment in this section like, hey, I want what we just shared, like this tapping sequence, and I'll send it to you guys, no charge. My goal is to have everyone feeling really amazing, whether it's like, and this little tapping thing we did was probably 3 minutes. So a lot of resistance that people have into doing these practices is, oh, I don't have time, I've got to get to work. This is something that, every job gives you a 15-minute break in addition to your lunch break. And if they're not, you need to talk to your HR. But everyone's job gives you a break. And it's always advisable just to take that break. Whether you tap or when you take a walk or maybe just step out of the office and get fresh air, take the break. You'll come back more productive. And this is just one tool to really get you to the zone, to peak state, coming back and being restored and having the energy. So message me. Aria, I'm going to send you the script, the message for the EFT tapping, and anyone else I'd love to share. And there's so many mind-body connection rituals that I share with my clients. I can think of a zillion. And today we just picked one. So I'd love to jump on next week when we have the retreat and maybe share a new tool, because then you guys will be already be practicing this every day already. So by the time we get to the next week, we can share something new, and I'd love to share with you guys. So Thank you
Yeah,
for
I'm
that.
so excited, John. I love you. Always have so many different tools in your pocket. And I was just thinking, what if we did tap dancing?
Oh, wow. Tap dancing. I love it.
Not
Not
tap dancing, and
tap
I'm like, well,
dance,
we
but
do that tap dancing, so it's maybe
Yeah,
more,
let's
we have a new modality on our hands.
I love it. Every little tool, because I feel like there's so many different techniques and things that have been passed on for ages and ages that actually work. And it's stuff that I feel I wish schools taught us when we were in middle school, like taking exams. Like if I was tapping before every exam, I would SAT scores I would have been just however, now we have the tools, and now it's up to us to share it out. So,
Yeah, and I love that we share that mission. Like we all want to share this with the world. We want to share this with the next generations, and we're here doing it, making a difference. So I'm so grateful for your time today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for walking us through that practice, John. I feel amazing after that. And Kassiah, you just are a wealth of knowledge. I'm just so excited to learn more from you at the virtual retreat. And so for those of you just joining in, this is John and Kassiah, and they are going to be joining us at our upcoming virtual retreat called I Am Healthy on May 12th and 13th. We have 16 incredible speakers and facilitators, so come and join us. It's 2 full days. The last one was really, really transformational, and I just could not be more excited for this one. And also, John and Kassiah are doing this every Wednesday, in addition to, at Ascend Alchemy, we're doing IG Lives every week, but they are committed to sharing this information with the world. They have Wellness Wednesdays. So I would love for you guys to just share where people can find you and talk about your Wellness Wednesdays that you're offering and anything else you'd like to share. And if you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask them. So drop them in the chat.
yeah. We just started Wellness Wednesdays. Wednesdays around lunchtime. It's like 1 p.m. CST. And we just started off by sharing our stories because John had such a transformational story. I'm like, you should share this. It's like, would inspire and help out a lot of people. And so we started by sharing that. We did Blue Zones last week, and we just want to continue bringing the magic, the holistic health community here, and bring that to people wherever they are. So we'll be having guest speakers as well. And if you have any kind of topics you want to learn more about, let us know, because we'd be happy to. There's just such a beautiful community here, and there's an expert in every area that we could probably work with and bring that knowledge to you. So yeah.
I want to say something real quick. So I want to thank Aaron for putting together the wellness retreat that's coming up, because I also host retreats, and a lot of times people will message me like, how much is the retreat? When is it? Where is it? And then one of the biggest resistance for people to take off work, getting to Tulum and coming to a retreat is money. And they have children, so they can't leave their children, and the cost of a flight and the hotel and all these things. And I really want to just send you gratitude, just appreciation, because you're giving people something that they really don't have to like pack their bags. They don't have to sort out childcare for a whole week and, drop the kids off at grandma's house, or even come up with a big budget. A lot of times retreats do cost a lot, and you're offering something that is $22, which is crazy, amazing good. So if you guys are watching this, if any of my friends and contacts on Instagram, if you're watching this, join us next week. This is going to be amazing. I feel like living in Tulum, we're just so lucky and blessed that we're immersed in this type of work. Like every day, there's some kind of healing modality, a workshop, class, a retreat, a day retreat, an immersion, and this is our opportunity to give back, because we've been gifted so much living here in Tulum. So it's our opportunity to share the wisdom, the knowledge, and the healing modalities. So thank you for putting it together. And I'm going to be personally inviting my email list of friends and family to join. Just super excited to be a part of this. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Aaron. I agree. Super value packed, and it's such a low price, and it's accessible, and I feel like you'll get a lot of yeah, great information and healing and magic brought into your life from it. So thank you so much also for having us to be a part of it. We're so happy and grateful to have met such an amazing human like you. You're always bringing together community, and we just love you.
And if you're watching this and you don't follow me, it's super easy. You're on Instagram. Just click on my account. I have a little link tree thing. It'll show you how to get a hold of me, how to find me live or virtually. Same with Kassiah. Same with Aaron. And then Aaron, will you also share the link to this virtual retreat?
Yeah, of course. So I don't think I can share it in the chat right here just because I have to like leave the chat, leave the IG live, but the link for the virtual retreat is on our Instagram page. It's in our bio. You can probably find it in our stories or posting stories with the link to it as well and in our latest posts. So it's super accessible, and thank you both for being here today. Thank you for your kind words and for sharing your heart with me. I'm so grateful for both of you, and I'm just really passionate about this work as both of you are, and really just sharing our knowledge with the world. And, you know, we're in a health crisis, and it's just, it makes me really sad, you know, and so my biggest passion in life is to help people heal and help people live healthier and happier lives. And so I don't want finances to stop people from learning about their health or having these experiences. And so thank you so much for joining the virtual retreat, and thank you for offering your services, you know, to the world and collaborating with me, because it really is the best gift that we can give, and really raising the frequency of the planet, helping humanity heal. And so I'm just so grateful to be surrounded by people like you and that want to share this message with the world. So thank you both so much for the work that you're doing and for being a part of my life and being a part of my community that helps regulate my nervous system. I'm really, really grateful for both of you. So yeah, any final words? I will. If you guys have any questions later on, if you're watching this later, feel free to reach out to any of us. You can send us a message, direct message. And we look forward to seeing you guys at the virtual retreat. It's going to be incredible. And if you're in Tulum or coming to Tulum anytime soon, please get in touch with us and come experience us in person. You can come to one of our ecstatic dances or one of our retreats here in person in the jungle. So yeah, any final words?
No final words. Maybe that pets also help regulate your nervous system. So cuddle with your pups and your kitties. Just kidding. Well, I love y'all. I hope y'all had gained something from this. And I just want to encourage you to take 5-10 minutes of your day to do some yoga, some breath work, visualization, something to take care of your nervous system and just see how much it helps your health and well-being. So, ciao for now.
Namaste.
Okay,
Namaste.
Namaste. Te
amo.
Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you again, John and Kassiah, and sending you all so much love and light.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.